Hi, I'm David Stubbs, and I talk to dead people. This Dead People episode will be about my friend Melvin, aka Pookie, Gary Olabrado. And this one is probably the strangest I ever dealt with because Pookie came at me with anger. I mean, he was visiting me in the physical form. He was visiting me in the vivid dreams, and we kept fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and I barely win each time. But it was obviously that I was way much powerful than he was in the spirit ring. And well, this is how it started. One day, I went to take my goddaughter home, or stepdaughter, to her grandparent. Right when I got there, was a bunch of cars and people's in the yard. They always like to have family get-togethers. So when I dropped my goddaughter off, and all the people there know me. Most of them were raised up together, and I've been dealing with that family my whole life. And my goddaughter said, "God, Daddy, why don't you stay to the party?" And I told her, "Baby, I don't roll like that." She said, "But they all like you. They all, what are you talking about you?" So as I was pulling off, I seen AKA Swank Man, which is Pookie. He come jogging up because he worked for the high school, the local high school, and he like assistant director. He gave himself that position. Right? So all I know, when Pookie come running up, everybody bust out the window laughing, and I pulled off. I didn't know what it was about. But later on, my ex-wife called me and say, when you were pulling off, Pookie come jogging up there, and he gonna say out loud, "The mighty Dave done went down. The mighty Dave done went down. Can't even walk." And everybody went to laughing, right? So my mother-in-law, my ex-wife told me, she say, "That guy ain't never did nothing to you or Gary but give y'all jobs. He opened up his house and let y'all live with him every time y'all need somewhere to stay. And you think it funny that he having trouble right now and can't walk?" No, 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 no. I'm just saying, baby Dave, baby Dave, the mighty baby Dave. So, right? So I told my ex-wife, I said, "You know what? I done found out since I've been handicapped." And she said, "What?" I say, "The people you help the most, you realize once you get handicapped, they the one hate you the most." I said, "I never did nothing to Pookie. Never. Pookie like my oldest brother. We grew up in Pamperton together." I say, "Why would he say something like so bad like that about the mighty David?" I say, "I'm human. They done ripped the hell out of me all these years because they were mad because I had a degree in golf. And it's going to catch up with you sooner or later." She said, well, Mama say something bad going to happen to him. Well, something did. 4 weeks later, he got prostate cancer or something, right? Real bad. So one day, I went to drop my goddaughter off, and I saw Pookie sitting on the porch, and I kept going, and I started to go there, but I say, "Man, just keep going," you know what I mean? And I had a bad dream where Pookie brother Gary, who already dead, told me in a dream Pookie dropped through the road. We looking at it, Pookie just dropped through the road. We didn't even know what's the river under the road. And we're in South Florida, so what you mean by black ice, And he dropped through the black ice, and Gary told me, he said, "Hey man, Pookie dead." was a strong dream. So I called my ex-wife. I said, hey, man, I just had a bad dream, man. They gave me some numbers if you want them. Because she loved to gamble, right? And I say, man, the dream giver say Pookie dead. My ex-wife said, you ain't heard about Pookie? I said, no. She said, they gave Pookie like a couple of weeks to live. I said, no, I ain't know about that. So I was dropping my goddaughter off one day. And I looked to the river and saw Pookie on the porch. So when I backed up, because I didn't want to make the same mistake that I made with Gary of not saying goodbye, like just hardcore goodbye. So I said, let me go back to Pookie and tell Pookie everything gonna be all right and about the other side and all that stuff. And when I backed up, a car pulled up, so it went nowhere at the park. So I just say, oh well, that's probably the nurse for Pookie, and I pulled off. Well, he was on the porch and he was looking at me. I think he wanted to see me and pull off. Next thing I know, 2 days later, Pookie was dead, and he come in my dream with vengeance, fighting like cats and dogs. It never happened like that before. Nobody who have died have come back to attack me. It mean they got a fighting every night. I'm scared to go to sleep because these were death matches. And then one day I had a vivid dream. Him and my angel walked through the front door. She went to the bathroom area. And he said, baby date, we can drink some beer, I said, yeah, man, we can drink some beer, dog, but and he had the beer with him. He had a couple of cases of beer. I said, but you drink that much beer, dog, you got to spend the night, man. I can't be driving and drinking, right? And he said, oh, baby day, I can stay in my old room. I said, yeah, bro, that's your room for life, dog. I say, you my boy. He said, for real? That's my room, baby day? I said, yeah, man. And he was so happy like a little kid again. And I don't know what the angel said to him or what happened, but after that, the fighting and the attacking me stopped. It stopped. And one day, we were at an airport, and I didn't realize what airport it was, but it was the airport where your souls go for your next destination, because he got on the elevator. And unfortunately, the red light hit. It mean going down. And he didn't want to go. But then I had another dream where boom, he must be got some goodie points, and the elevator went up. So it's all up and downs from there. And that was the only time where it felt like I was about to die in a dream visitation from the dead. That's the negative one I ever had, because this guy was actually mad at me. And I knew why, I knew why. Because I didn't come and see him 2 days before he died, when we were looking at each other and I was backing up, and when the car pulled up, that's the only thing I needed. As far as being an introvert and anxiety, I just need a little object to get in the way to make up an excuse to say, well, maybe later. But anyway, that was the negative one I had. Hope you enjoy. God bless.